Bring us two absolute martinis. You know how I like them, straight up. And then precisely 7.5 minutes after that, you're gonna bring us two more. Then 2 more after that every 5 minutes until one of us passes the fuck out.
It's up to each and every one of you, my highly trained Stratonites, my killers who will not take no for an answer. Not hang up the phone until their client either buys or fucking
Welcome to the Talking the Line podcast, presented to you by Talking the Line Sports Media, giving you our best insights and analysis so you can rake in some cold hard cash on your next sports bet. Now sit on back, open up your mind, and let's cash some tickets. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers, far and wide. Welcome in to episode number 140, another milestone cross, the big 140 of the Talking the Line podcast on this absolutely beautiful Wednesday of bets, also known as, so you don't have to check your calendar, October 6th, 2021. Now, I know you saw the title. I know you know that we know and he knows and she knows that we're all going through the entire Week 5 slate, breaking it all down game by game and giving you our best insights and analysis. But before we do so, please take a few moments to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the TTL pod on. If you are currently watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that notification bell as well so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional TTL crew content dropping. But if you are listening on your favorite podcast directory, hey, go ahead, hit that subscribe button there as well, as we do release the audio of every live show after it is complete. Next item up on the docket, hey, you could be so kind. You can find it in your heart. You get a couple extra seconds to do so. Go ahead, after you smash that subscribe button, smash that like button as well. Leave us a comment, leave us a rating. Jump on over in the live chat if you are watching live. Hit that share button. Send it on over to your grandma, your uncle, your sister, your brother, your neighbor, your friend, your enemy, anybody that you so please who likes cashing tickets. First time better to the Daily Degenerate, the TTL crew, and pod is for all. We welcome you with open arms. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it when you do. Last, but certainly not least, before we get into episode number 140, please head on over to this episode's description. The first link you're going to see there is the Talk in the Line link tree. That link tree is so we can put in one convenient location, the talkintheline.com website, all of the TTL crew's social platforms, and all of our additional content so you, the viewer, the consumer, can get it all, however and whenever you please. Ladies and gentlemen and beautiful gambling people, you know the vibes I'm bringing. You see good vibes incoming on the top of the screen when we have the countdown timer. They are inbound. I am your humble and hyped up host, Colton, Colt 45 Soroka, and I can't thank you enough once again for choosing to stop by on this absolutely beautiful October 6th, 2021. Now, it is an absolutely gorgeous day here at the TTL Production Studios, and I have a man sitting to my left just as he does on every single episode of the TTL pod that I have failed to bring in. A young man who is geeked, squirming in his seat, going bananas, if you will, for his White Sox to play the Houston Astros today at 3:09 p.m. Tomorrow, 3:09 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, partner. That all being said, you see it across his chest. You know him as the man, the myth, the degenerate gambling legend, and oh, let's not forget the TTL resident cheesehead himself, Mr. Riley RMags Magnuson. Partner, how you doing over there today, pal?
My man, I could not be more juiced to be here for another Wednesday, diving into some NFL lines. Episode number 140, another milestone, as you mentioned. You know, episode 100, we had the old, donut attempt,
Don't remind me.
Let's just say, of all the things we've done, that is maybe the one thing we can say was an emphatic failure. For the next milestone, though, I've had, the wheels spinning. We get our, as you say, the black elixir of the gods. Maybe a little, little coffee.
Maybe we try to take down a gallon
some
during
type
the
of
show.
coffee
Just
challenge.
Like during the show, I'm like, hey, you
That's
got
what I'm
picks yet,
saying.
man? What the hell's going on?
I don't know if that's episode 150 or 200, whatever it is,
Hey,
but,
You know, about 6 months ago, a word and a thought like that wouldn't have even come across your mind or your lips, and I absolutely love that you are a
It's not wrong.
caffeine
It's not
fiend
wrong.
now, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. We have a show on tap for you guys here today. Now, I'll tell you about that here in just a minute, but let's recap a little bit. We don't have a recap graphic or anything, but I hope you guys follow us on the Action Network app at the bare
or even on
minimum.
Twitter. We dropped it on Twitter.
We did drop it on Twitter as well. Everybody was opposing us. Everybody was saying we were crazy. Hey, Consig, if you're out there watching, appreciate you. Love you, our guy. Hey, we were all over the Red Sox. We were all over the under. The under pushed on a goofy Giancarlo bomb into the game. Hey, no big deal. It is what it is.
Props to those Giancarlo Stanton home run bettors. They definitely deserved that one.
Oh, my
They definitely deserved that
Who
one.
hit the bomb at the end of the game to make it 6-2?
I think it was Stanton.
Was it Stanton?
I think.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong.
I think it was Stanton, too. Did he have 3 shots at it? And
He had the two. He had the two that
went off
both
the
hit the top of the
and, like,
monster. And they.
I don't know whoever was nuts. He got it. Oh, it's go. Oh,
there was
off the top.
that Scourgeon was like that. Disappointed.
Oh, it was terrible.
Sterling, the Yankees, I believe is their Yankee radio guy. I don't know if you heard that, was even worse.
I didn't hear that one, but I'm sure
that's the one. It is high. It is far. Stantonian home run. And then he's still standing at first base. What did I miss? What did I see wrong? He had no. I mean, the dude's 80. We got to give him a break for that.
What up, Nicky boy? Good morning, my friend.
Dude's about 80, so we got to give him a break for that. But it's a must listen. One of my favorite. It's obviously not the same, conversation as the Castellanos call. The controversial. Not the same conversation by any means on that. As far as most enjoyable like train wrecks, it's in a different type of conversation, but it's up there for me.
Hey, speaking of home run guy, did you end up playing it at all, or did you stay away from it? The Shore Bomb?
I went safe and did 2 total bases.
I was trying to get him over on my side.
I kept it light. Now it's like, you know what? I could see because I could see Schwarber destroying one, but going straight into the monster or something like that.
Hey, obviously did not happen.
No.
Cashed it across both books. I had
it was
a pretty
standing the last
solid damn evening last night across both my books with how we played. And outside of the AL wildcard, NL wildcard, didn't talk much about it post-show or pre-show, but been looking at it.
I got a little something already.
I really hope that this doesn't bite me in the ass. Bleeding blue, cubby blue and red. But I like a little Dirty Birds plus 1.5, and I got a half
plus
unit.
1.5. Huh?
I got a half unit sprinkle on their money line too.
Okay. I'm kind of putting my faith in Max Scherzer. I went with a 2-leg SGP, Dodgers and under.
He's been a little shaky. I'm a little concerned about him. In his last few outings, just like Garrett Cole was. We saw what happened with the $364 million man yesterday.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm putting my faith in him, man.
I'm
putting my faith in the Mad Max. If it was in St. Louis, probably a different story. But
for sure, there are just Max Muncy out, so that is kind of a critical spot. And I think Wainwright just does enough on the road. He pitched decently on the road all year long. So.
I like the under a lot.
Yeah, the under's decent, and I just thought that maybe it might be 8, maybe it might be 6, so I'm kind of shooting right down the middle, and I'm going it's going to be a tight game. I see like a 4-3 game. Insanity. And Cardinals have just been really weird lately. Like they went on that 18-game streak. They've been insane.
Last 2 for Scherzer were bad. I didn't see that. Fuck. That's all right.
Hey, it's all right. We'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out. Oh, dude, and closing statement from last night. The fucking SGPs, bro.
The Nerfy dude.
By one leg.
Nerfy dude.
I got Giancarlo hit. Rizzo hit.
Yep. You had a bigger one. I had a light one, but it was still the Nerfy.
I had a 20 to win 1,200, dude, and I missed it on the fucking Nerfy.
I thought we were alive because Stanton had one of his. It was the Stanton bomb in the first inning.
Hey, still, if you guys bet alongside with us, similarly to how I've been telling you to bet in unit sizes, the $500 night across.
Yes,
all
sir.
books
I nailed my favorite play was the under 4.5 first 5. That one. I got a little sweaty there for a minute, but
stocks too at the +1/2 if you got in early at the -130.
Yeah,
that was nice.
100%.
Outside of that, that game is going to be a tough challenge for the Cards. I don't know. It just feels weird at +200, +295. That just feels too fucking cheap. Especially for the Cards right now, man. How they're playing, it just feels too cheap. I expected it right around 175, even with Scherzer on the mound.
Okay.
So that's kind of why I made the play, and I think it's going to be tight.
Okay.
Outside of that, we're here. We're live. We're now episode number 140 of the TTL pod. Okay, we've talked all about yesterday. Now it says NFL Special Edition somewhere down around in there. That's what the fuck we're actually here to talk about. Not everything that happened yesterday, but also pay attention. NL wildcard game. Make sure we'll probably talk about it a little more at the end of the show. But follow us on the Action Network app for all the bets we end up putting in. I'll probably do some home run props again. I am at cash_with_Colt, and Riley is at RMags in all caps. Then once we do business as usual, Thursdays, Fridays, Mondays, soon upcoming with the new seasons rolling around the corner. Tuesdays, Wednesdays too. We're going to be taking these recaps and look aheads away with action every single fucking day of the week. That all being said, you can follow the TTL Best Bets at Talking the Line on the Action Network app. Free plug. I'm giving out free plugs all day today. I got a Stool
seriously, dude.
shirt on. I mean, you give them free plugs for the Sox, but I guess it's all right. You're just repping a team, you know? Like, I'm giving out Stool,
I had to,
I'm giving out
yeah.
Action Network. What the fuck?
Not playing until tomorrow and the next day, but I had to get the vibes getting started.
No,
Had to get the vibes getting
Hey,
started.
I understand. If my Cubbies were in the postseason, I'd be doing the same
Dallas
shit.
Keuchel starting game 1, though. I just found that out today.
boy.
Interesting choice.
Well, it looks like we have lots to talk about at the end of the show in your sidebar. Everything in between once we get to some banter and some announcements. But for now, stop all that drama. Quit all the banter. Quit all the nonsense. You could go to every other sports media outlet and get. We know that you know, and she knows, and we know, and he knows that you come here for the Stone Cold Locks, picks, insights, analysis, and running tickets to the window with the TTL crew all day and night long. So let's get geared up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in advance before we actually need to make any plays on these games, so we have the early value, we know everything that's going on, and get into the Week 5 season preview. You know the drill. If you haven't been by in a while, if you haven't been by a preview yet, or if you're a faithful, member of the TTL faithful, going game by game. We'll break it down. We'll give you the early value we're finding. We'll talk bets. We'll talk overall outlook. We'll talk fantasy advice. We'll go all over across the map, everything we do, but most importantly, focusing on the cashing of tickets. So, first game up on tap, my friends. Get ready. Strap in. Here we go. Thursday Night Football to the NFC West. It is the matchup between the LA Rams and the Seattle Seasquawks, as we have
Seasquawks
patented here on the TTL pod. Partner, I'm going to kick it over to you first. Keep it brief, keep it tight, keep it concise, because you know how we do on tomorrow's show. We'll dish out plenty more analysis and insights and plays. Where you leaning? How you feeling? What's going on over there?
Alrighty, so I am leaning towards the old.
Sorry.
Already mentioned the damn drink, and now we
Christmas. To me, to you.
Yes, sir.
To all you beautiful people drinking the black elixir of the gods on this gorgeous day, take your sip and let's get the hell on with it. Oh, Jiminy. I mean, who makes this stuff?
I think you did, technically, in a way.
I mean, technically, but hey, shout out Target. Another free plug.
Shout out Target.
Shout out Target. Whoever, they're fucking creme brulee coffee. Shit.
What is that brand?
Today, boy.
Shit. Anyways.
I don't know, whatever it is, hit him with it.
All right, so I am actually leaning towards the home team Seattle Seasquawks in this game tomorrow night. I'm leaning towards the money line on this one, partner. I've got a couple trends, but first I'll give you a couple reasons why. One of the reasons, I think these teams are really close. This has nothing to do with me being out on the Rams or anything like that. I do think there's something to be said for momentum on a Thursday night game like this. You have in the Seahawks case, a big win on Sunday coming in with, short week going into that momentum on Thursday. And while the Rams are technically in a bounce back spot, I think that's bad momentum. Losing that big division game on Sunday with a very quick turnaround against another division opponent on the road.
Yes, sir.
I think that's tough to shake off and, get that motivation. Obviously, they're motivated, but I think you know what I mean.
Right.
It's not the same typical bounce back for a full week of prep. So that's part of where I'm leaning. I think they're also just really close. And then finally, I think, the home field advantage here for the Seahawks really tips me over. As far as trends, as far as trends, Seahawks last 16 as an underdog, 12-4 ATS. That is a big one right there. As far as the game total, I've got a couple ref trends in a couple games today, partner. Ron Torbert, head referee for this game. So far this season, him and his crew are 4-0 to the under, covering by an average of 8.5 points per game.
Well, wouldn't you know that I have Seattle money line written down over here and the under 54.5 both as, well, Seattle as a 3-star play and the under as a 2-star play, and I did not know that Ronald Torbert stat.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I don't have all the trends
Yes,
and
sir.
everything my partners come to this show with. You know that I come to business as usual shows with a fucking list.
Yeah.
Just roll them out across the table.
I saw those ref trends. I got 2 today, 1 at a different game, and I was like, baby, I got to nail those.
I agree with you. I called it yesterday, boys, girls, everybody joining us. I think the Rams start 0-2 in the NFC West, and then I think they run the table for the rest of the season.
And again, not to put words in your mouth, but I'm sure you're not out on the Rams. We both, and you got me onto this.
We called it in the season preview, man.
You got a McVay coaching. We both got the McVay Coach of the Year ticket. I followed you on that one. So.
I think it's going to be a goofy start. Well, it's not that it's been a goofy start, just a goofy start in the division, and then they're going to run the table.
Yeah.
We predicted it in the season preview for the Rams. This is kind of how it was going to go. And as far as the Seahawks, I think they start 2-0. I think shit looks good. Russ is cooking. Hey, go Hawks. 12th man. We love it. And then some point in time, once again, Carroll thinks it's not important to let Russ cook, and he starts getting back to that ground and pound game, and they start shooting themselves in the foot over and 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 over. Shout out Beast Mode Lynch, and over and over and over again. So I think this is going to be one of those spots where you got to back the Seattle Seahawks. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. I, too, am leaning that money line heavily. I have not locked anything in.
I did lock that in, the money line.
Love it. Have not locked anything in yet as far as NFL. I absolutely loved this week's college slate.
Okay.
Make sure you tune in Friday. Yeah. I have 17 picks on Saturday.
Right.
Once again, volume betting. If you've been betting with me, we have been stacking this season. I told you, start out with $5 units. You don't have to be crazy. You don't have to bet those $25, $50 units to start, or even the $100, $200 units that we will eventually get to, I promise you. And it has been slowly growing. So I have not officially made a play. If you, once again, go to my action, I have locked in pretty much my entire college slate. I'll put my star system out there
for sure
as well later. So if you're not totally comfortable yet, you've been banking on those two, because I know those are actually valuable as well when I put them. I'll make sure to get those out here soon. I'm finishing up some analysis today, and then I'll lock in some NFL stuff this evening and tomorrow. But we will talk more about the Sea Squawks and the Rams on tomorrow's show. TNF, full preview. Best bets, picks, props, everything in between.
Probably the most we'll have to talk about on a standalone game and a few games here.
On a Thursday night, too. Thursday night's been kind of getting fisted, if you ask me. I hate who am I? I don't know. But
anyway,
that's what I think. Okay, reel it on in. Let's go to Sunday. Throw the old line back out there again. We caught the Sunday fish, if you will. Reel it in the boat. It's
across
in the net.
The pond.
We have gone across the pond, you see.
Pond.
See, I usually have a good British accent, but when I'm live, I feel like I can't do it. I'm going to be laughing. I won't be able to do it. So I'm not going to do it. Maybe I'll bring it out as I'm doing analysis. But we go across the pond there, though, Bobby Dazzler. And I'm not going to do it. The New York Jets play the Atlanta Falcons in England. God save the Queen from the TTL pod. You know what? I'm actually really interested in the Jets at +3.
Okay.
Opened up as Atlanta Falcons, obviously the favorite, laying a field goal. It did also open at 44 on the total. It has jumped up 2 points to 46. So maybe thinking about a little bit more of a shootout. I don't know that really either team gets over 24 points, and I think that the Jets defense have been able to really figure things out under Bobby.
Right.
And we're both big Bob Saleh fans.
Yeah.
I have been looking at it on my look ahead, because I brought my look ahead sheet to the pod, obviously. I got the Jets 1 star right now, and that can obviously subject to change. I'm going to take a look at them. I don't know if I'm going to lock it in for sure, so don't run to it. But I do also like that under 46. I just think that's a perfect total for it to go under. The fact that it's kicked up 2 points, I think that's absolutely perfect movement to buy back in on the under.
Mm-hmm.
To call me crazy, I don't know. Both teams are 0-2 on the road or at home, but it's a neutral site, so it doesn't really matter. They're both 1-3 ATS so far in the season, so not a whole lot you can draw. I don't know that I'm going to make it a best bet, but I do feel as though I got to have some 8:30 in the morning across the pond action.
That's kind of where I might, if I'm ever going to force one, and it's not going to be a force. If it's not the spread, it's not the total.
Fuck off there, you. What the fuck are you talking about? I got to put in a big fucking bet, all right? You're Bobby Dazzler. Now, here we go. I got a fucking thing going, all right? Please continue with your fucking analysis.
I don't have too much here. I don't know what to think about this game quite yet.
All.
One thing I will say, Falcons 8-3, ATS last 11 versus team with a losing record. I don't think that's going to be enough to side me over to the Falcons in this one. I need to see some more on this one, because I do want to have some action on that London game, because I will be up and watching this one, getting everything else ready for the rest of the slate. But I don't know where I'm leaning quite yet. This is going to be this might be a Saturday evening finalization here.
A Saturday evening.
Saturday evening. Yep.
All right. Well, as for me, I believe I'm going to be locking in them fucking Jets, and I don't give a damn what any one of you think. But for now, I'll put away the British accent, and we will come back to that later. Hi, it's Colt and Soroka back here in prime time. How we doing live here? That all being said, hey, you never know what rabbit hole we're going to go down here at the TTL pod. But the thing is, too, Free plug also to Wise Words, episode number 5.
Thought you were about to plug London or something.
12 p.m. Central Standard Time after this live show. The next episode of Wise Words. It is absolutely electric, full of knowledge, different angle, golf angle this time. But we really talked about some doggone good stuff, man, and actually some of the stuff that we were hitting on in there. But I'll come back to that because I had a more in-depth thought, and that's the second time I've done that, plugging a Wise Words show. So let's go on to the next matchup, my friend. Oh, that being said, I know what it is now. We talked about what people want is just somebody to sweat with.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we want to bring for you guys. We're fucking goofy like this, and we have a good time because at the end of the day, yeah, we do a lot more work than the average bear. We're actually working on putting together our own power rating systems now. We're in depth in this. We've been making some really good networking connections. Obviously, we do more than the average bear, for lack of a better term, but we're still a couple of goofballs at the end of the day, and we like having a good time, and we want to sweat with you guys. We'll be right more often than we're wrong. I can promise you that, but it's also we're sweating with you. We're having a good time. We want to have a blast. So you're never going to find suits over here. If you were expecting to find one, I do apologize. But, partner, next up on Sunday Slate, we're into the 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, wherever you find yourself, maybe 1 o'clock. Who knows where you find yourself on the map? Well, it's actually, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah.
12, 11,
9 to
10,
12,
who knows?
11,
Somewhere
1,
in that ballpark. Who gives a fuck? It's the game in Florida. Miami Dolphins versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs laying 10.5. Looks like they lost the hook on most books. Down to 10 now. Do you have the couillons, if you will, to back the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going back home and coming off of that electrifying 19-17 victory in New England?
So this is not one that I have hammered anything in on. I don't think I'm going to be hammering in the Bucs in this one. Might be a stay away, but there's a few more things pointing me towards the Dolphins. I don't know if you're feeling the same way. I have not seen, we can pull up the money splits here, but as far as the Dolphins, they've got some interesting trends. 18-6 ATS last 24 as an underdog. So whenever they're in this type of spot, this is when they find, whether it's fly it through the back door or their defense makes it gritty. Last week finally made me really, really uninterested in watching this offense do what it does week in and week out with whoever's at quarterback. And I don't know if I want that sweat again because it's not a fun sweat. It was not a fun sweat at all. It was not even a sweat. It was like, all right, by second quarter, you knew what was happening.
It sucked,
and I don't know if I want any part of it.
The Colts were winning that game, and we didn't fully bury the Colts, but we might have a play on the Colts as well. But kind of same story as last week. Not as aggressive on the public side, but still pretty public. 68% of actual bets and 71% of actual money wagered.
And then losing the hook
so
makes
far
me...
on the spread are on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at -10. Despite all of that, you just said it, they have lost the hook.
Yeah, so that helps me want the Dolphins.
Yikes.
Well, it helps me want them.
Yeah, big time. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to make that a best bet either. Tampa Bay Bucks money line right now is getting 80% of bets with 98% of actual money wagered.
Jeez.
Can you say severe monetary liability? I can. Hope you can too. Definitely ringing some bells for me. I'm not too sure. We will discuss. Did not have it written down on the old sheet over here for my projections, but we'll take a look.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that one.
Keep it moving. Keep it grooving, my friends.
Oh boy.
It is. Can we dub this the controversy bowl?
I was going to say the finger bang bowl or something.
Oh, okay. I was going to just say the controversy bowl or maybe the sticky situation bowl, but fuck, hey, the double shooter bowl. The two-finger shooter bowl. If you don't know what we're talking about, hey, we're going to Jacksonville. Duval. It's a fucking dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. Sorry. Hey, Zach, if you're tuning in, love you, our guy. We appreciate you. Sorry. It is a mess right now. But Jags getting 4 points at home with the Tennessee Titans coming into town. Call me fucking crazy. Color me stupid. I love the fucking Jags at +4.
I'm interested. Again, color me interested. I'm trying to figure out. It might be up to 4.5, so that gives me a little concern. But 87% of bets, 90% of money on the Titans. Titans 6-21-1 ATS last 28 road games versus team with a losing home record.
I think DraftKings and FanDuel, they are being the more public books. Everybody and their dogs uses those two books. They're the only two books on the market right now that have the hook.
That 4.5?
Every other book has the 4. So something to kind of think about there. Definitely something to think about there. Once again, severe monetary liability. Titans getting 87% of early bets. Once again, 5 days away before we even need to make these bets, with 90% of actual money wagered on the -4. Not to mention their money line. Oh boy, getting 80% of actual money wagered on this game with 90% of bets.
With everything aside, I still am not really interested in hammering in the Titans as a favorite, aside from all of the storylines of what's going on. I don't care what the situation. I mean, the narrative is that Urban Meyer got laughed out of a position group meeting. Is it possible that they laughed with him out of the position group meeting?
No, not at all. Not left with him. I mean, they laughed his ass. I'm pretty sure like the door closed and then just a room full of 20 to 30-year-old. I mean, think about it, dude. It's guys our age. Guys our age that are at the peak prime form. Hey, I say it all the time. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Right. I am the prime bullshitter. And if you are going to stand up in front of a group of pretty street smart savvy guys, hey, this ain't the college leagues no more. This ain't the NCAAF. What this is hey, we get paid for our performance, and winning helps us get paid a lot more. And we all have to have each other's back and be on the same page. So as soon as he stood up there and said, I shouldn't have been in a situation, I mean, you know he was hubba and bubba over his words. It was an absolute joke. And
I was hoping you would entertain me for a second on the contrary, but
soon as that door closed, boys, you know, everybody just fucking fell out of their seats, couldn't fucking breathe. Is this man serious right now? We know he was just trying to have a little double shooter action on their weekend here, have a little fun, and he forgot that we're in the 21st century, got caught up on the internet. The internet's a hell of a place, my friends. Be careful. If that's a lesson for anybody, be fucking careful what you're doing out there. Especially don't do shit like that. Probably not a good look, good move. But one final closing thought. If you are a big fan of Michael Lombardi, I am myself personally. Shout out at the Daily Coach, the GM Shuffle Pod. 32 years in the NFL. I have been dying to talk to him, get him on. I think we're going to try and shoot for him to get on an episode of Wise Words. Hey, little teaser. We'll see what's up there. Got some pretty good connections now, so we'll see what happens. Teaser. All that being said, he was talking about that this, I said on yesterday's show, it might get messy, and this might be more about money than them actually like just wanting to let him go just for anything. So like, they might have, Shad Khan might have realized, like, oh boy, we got ourselves in a real sticky situation here. We got him locked 100%. In for 5 years, and he did all of that because all of that nonsense is whatever. Like that, you got to deal with that. You and Mrs. Meyer, and all that shit. The fact that he didn't go down with the boys on the plane and slide home, that's a bigger issue, and that's what it is. But
at least for his team, it still is an issue as far as like you have to know in 2021 that if you're in public doing anything as the person that you
Urban Meyer in a big ass
in fucking Ohio,
in a big ass pink quarter zip, the fuck are you doing?
You're one of the 3 most famous people in the state.
So here's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's win one for the Gipper.
Oh no,
I don't think it's that, but I do think it's like, hey, in spite of all that shit, like. That's low-key some gangster-ass shit. Our coach just isn't man enough to mid up to it because, like, I guarantee you 90% of this locker room just hasn't got caught up in something like that, whatever, and we're just man enough to admit it. So, hey, I think they come out and they ball out, and I think that they just have fun. I think it's just so much of a joke and everything now. I think Trevor Lawrence, he gets up, he kind of becomes the de facto leader now.
Because I love what I saw from him I shouldn't say love. I really like what I saw from him last week.
I did too. So,
and his Titans secondary, we saw what Zach Wilson just did to him. I'm buying into Trevor Lawrence having a nice day Sunday.
I don't know. I think it's going to be solid. I think it's going to be worth a shot. We've talked enough about it. We've gone all down every rabbit hole we possibly could have. I kind of like the Jags money line. I kind of like the +4. Probably won't be a best bet. We'll talk about it some more. Next bet up on tap, or game up on tap. Let's take a dive into the Philadelphia Eagles and the Carolina Panthers. Now, this one I am actually really interested in. I'd like to hear your thoughts, partner, before I dive into anything too major there.
So this is one that I'm a little confused about, partner. I have no interest in backing the Eagles in this spot here. I want to back the Carolina Panthers here. That -3.5 has been a tough spot. You got to pick and choose where the right spot to back the favorite is. The money that's coming in has me a little concerned here. I just really feel like this Carolina Panthers team is going to be a team that's not bad on the road, but not quite as good as they are at home. But when they're at home, I really think they're going to be really damn solid. And this Eagles defense the wheels have fallen off. I'm not really buying into their offensive performance last week because the Carolina Panthers defense, even with an injury or two, is still a lot better than the Chiefs defense. The pace of this game is going to be completely different. I like the Panthers, but the way the money is moving has me a little concerned, and I don't know if I'm going to lock it in. But we've seen the Eagles in this exact spot at least once before, actually twice before, against the Niners and the Cowboys. Pretty close to the same spot here. And, they did not cover against the Niners. It was a little close, and then they got their ass kicked by the Cowboys. So I'm wondering if the Eagles team is just some weird smoke signal that the books are trying to make you think that they might be scrappy, and then they roll them out and they get their ass kicked again. I don't know. Are you thinking same thing here?
Yeah, I think so, and I really like Carolina, but before I dive into anything, a couple of really key important things we shouldn't gloss over.
Okay.
News just came out. Will Fuller is going on IR. He'll be at least out for 3 weeks, and it is good news out of Denver. Teddy Bridgewater is progressing, but not officially cleared 100% good to go. He will not be practicing today. Drew Lock will take first team reps.
Okay.
So back into Carolina and Philadelphia. Partner, I got Carolina -4 wrote down over here. I like it. It's down to 3.5. It's lost the hook. That really doesn't scare me with them going back home after that absolutely brutal loss in the Star. I believe if they were 100% fully healthy, I think there would have been a lot more of a chance for them to cover that. And I think that number last week, they were 4.5-point dogs. It was already kind of baked in that injury. And I think that kind of loomed, both the injuries, and I think it loomed large in the Cowboys. Now, as far as the Cowboys covering now, what I am really just so confused about is what are the Cowboys doing now? Why did they let go Jalen Smith? What's all happening there? Are they going to continue this run against elite level teams? I mean, they've looked good against decent competition, and I don't want to say that the Bucs aren't elite, but they've left a little bit to be desired. And honestly, they've dealt with some very serious injuries. Now, hey, by the end of today, they might have one of the best cornerbacks in the entire league signed in Stephon Gilmore. Who knows? After going after Richard Sherman, who knows? Maybe the Bucs seem to be just a absolute money pit over there. Hey, cutting checks like Bill Belichick, everybody in the league right now. I don't know. I think it's a possibility that could happen. Either way, what I do know is I don't think the Carolina Panthers are 8 points worse than the Dallas Cowboys. I think that was just kind of victim of circumstance. And I don't think that the Philadelphia Eagles are 3.5 points.
If it was in Philadelphia, I would still be saying the same things, but I would probably a hard stay away.
Maybe.
At home in Carolina, I want them. I want them.
Yeah, that's what it does it for me, and I don't care that it's really lost the hook at all either. Just a quick money check before we move along. Where's it's at on Wednesday here? It is currently 67% of bets, 93% of actual money wagered on the Panthers spread right now. So a little something to think about there. 67%, you don't have to worry about too much. If it gets into the 70s, that's when you really got to start thinking about it. 65, 67, it is a little bit of a public bet, but definitely not as much as the 70s and the 80s and the 90s.
No.
So
Last thing for me, Eagles 4-11 ATS last 15 following a straight-up loss.
Yeah, and they got thumped. I mean, it wasn't Kansas City wasn't controlling the entire time, but they did get handled pretty decently. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that all later if we do end up having play out of that game on Friday's show. But I do for now like Carolina Panthers -3.5 on most books. Next game up on tap. Just mentioned the team. Don't know what quarterback is going to be getting the start, but game is in Heinz Field, so they won't have the home field advantage either way. We're going to the Broncos and the Steelers,
yes, sir.
My friend. Very interested by this one. I think this is a setup line. I think Pittsburgh gets this win pretty doggone easy, especially if Teddy Two Gloves doesn't start.
Right.
It's going to end up being a defensive battle, and I just think it's an overreaction line. Now, I'm not saying I'm locking the Steelers in at -1. I got burned on them pretty bad last week.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to sneak in the back door against your Packers. I just think that Mike Tomlin is not going to come back into Heinz Field after everything that's kind of happened over the course of the last few weeks. Big Ben's dead. Oh my gosh, should he get out of there? Should they start Mason Rudolph? Holy cow, the media's freaking out. He's going to simmer everything down. Everybody cool out. Let's get this internal. Let's go get a win against the Broncos, who are beat up. Now, I do think it's going to be a defensive battle and a half. That's why I think this is at a pick'em, but I think they end up winning by a touchdown of 6, maybe 2 field goals. Chris Boswell gets a couple through. I don't know. Again, I don't know that I'm running to the side yet, but I just don't believe now, especially how high I was on Denver last week against the Baltimore Ravens, an even better spot than this. And I thought that the Ravens were going to start to kind of show some of their injury issues, and that injury luck was going to run out. Apparently, it didn't. Apparently, it's still not going to, and I don't know if I have enough faith to trust the Broncos. Once again, not leaning Steelers, but I don't mind it.
Okay. If it's Drew Lock, I've got almost no interest in this game. I have seen enough of him, excuse me, over the last couple of years that I do not want any part of it. And I have been beating the drum that I think Big Ben is basically a walking corpse. So
I mean, he is.
He is.
Can't fucking deny it.
And I keep hearing, and you're right about Mike Tomlin and getting these boys ready to go, but he's never dealt with a walking corpse before playing quarterback. So If Teddy Bridgewater is in this game, I am interested in the Broncos. Their offense is at least a lot more steady than the Pittsburgh Steelers is, and this Denver defense can cause havoc on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. So
you're right. Juju looks bad. Chase Claypool's non-existent. Granted, he's been injured, but he wasn't. I mean,
Deontay Johnson hasn't been good.
Deontay Johnson has been decent. I guess you can't say much. But Juju, what has been going on with Juju, my friend? I have no idea what's happening.
But
hey, Roll Tide. I really hope that goodness gracious, why am I
Najee Harris?
Yes, Najee Harris gets back to what he was doing. I hope they start using him more. But please continue on.
Last couple things. Broncos 10-2 ATS last 12 following an ATS loss. And here's my other referee stat. Brad Rogers and his crew are 4-0 to the over in 2021, covering by 11.5 points per game.
I didn't have that written down.
This is an over-under of 40. I don't know. That is a very low total, but in this game, I don't know what to expect, and it doesn't really matter who's quarterback. I don't know if I'll be hammering that one in.
I have no idea.
But 11.5 points per game, that is pretty convincing so far.
Pittsburgh is getting the early bets, early money, 68% of bets on them at -1 with 75% actual money wagered on this game. Pretty similar. On the money line, 62% of bets, 58% of actual money wagered. The Broncos getting 42% actual money wagered at -104. That's how I felt about them last week. I don't know if I'm brave enough to back that again. And then that total, my friend. The over, 61% of bets, 99% of actual money wagered.
On the over?
On the over. Wow. So it is the public fun side right now.
Maybe that's Mr. Brad Rogers himself. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's Brad Rogers betting on his own total. Who knows? Betting his next paycheck. I have no idea.
I'm interested to look back a little more historically on those, how consistently, if a referee crew is doing that early in the season, do they continue it, or does the trend snap after a few? I'm interested to look deeper into those.
For sure, I would agree with you. Next game up on tap. Please try to be as unbiased as possible. Green Bay Packers at the Cincinnati Bengals. I am still really interested as to what the hell's going on. Opened up at 3.5. It has since dropped down to 3. Bengals only getting a field goal now. I am really, really interested in taking them. I don't know. It is written down here. I don't know if the Pack are all the way back. You bring up the point. The bad man always seems to say, forget your spread, forget whatever happened. I'm going to win this game outright anyway. But this is betting at the end of the day, and I don't know if I'm going to be taking the Bengals. It's very interesting. I'm going to do some more research on them tonight and probably lock in a play on this game.
I don't know. If you didn't show me the spread all week and I popped on this show and said Packers Bengals, what would you guess the spread? What's your feeling? I'd be like, I've got no concerns whatsoever, none at all. I would probably set this spread 5.5. That's where my trying to be unbiased, 5, 6, no sweat at all. I guess I'd be a little concerned. We might not have Jair Alexander. And that's kind of what I keep coming to is maybe we get burnt on some deep passes. But
kind of what I was thinking is
I'm not concerned about Cincinnati. I mean, I'm not saying Cincinnati's defense is bad. I still am confident in, Aaron Rodgers versus Joe Burrow. Aaron Rodgers being able to manage a game better than him. But all this money movement, only being at 3, losing a hook, that's what's got me concerned. All this, just from a gambling perspective, that's what's got me concerned. So
19% of bets with 44% actual money wagered on the Bengals +3. I think
maybe
it's too
a
good
sharp
to be
trap.
true,
I don't know, man.
and
That's what I'm hoping for.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
You're trying to come up with excuses for your pack not to lose. And
because like I said, if you didn't show me any of this, I would have no concerns whatsoever.
I think it's going to be an OT thriller. I think that Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins, who should be back this week, full healthy, full good to go, are going to rip the absolute cover off of your defense. And I apologize. That's just the biggest thing. That's what everybody keeps coming back to is that Packers defense. And I'm not worried about the offense. I just think it's a shootout and a half.
100%.
I think you got to rely on the bad man. And I think
so over 49.5, 50.
I mean, it's already moved up to 50 since opening at 49.5. So I don't know for sure. It's kind of what I'm thinking. I think both of these teams score 30 plus, 27, 24. I don't know. Get a little 51-point game there. I don't know. It's very interesting. I think it's going to be one of my best bets of the weekend. My partner's probably going to hate it. He's going to hate all of my analysis, but I really like the Bengals, but we'll keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Keep it grooving. We'll talk about it more on Friday if
Hopefully
we are.
I have victory Monday.
We'll see.
Hey, it's my birthday weekend, dude. I can't have the Packers lose on my birthday weekend, dude.
For sure.
Brett Favre's birthday on Sunday. Come on,
it's a great
come on,
weekend,
dude.
Man. It'll be pretty rough.
Packers by 1 million.
It'll be pretty rough. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep it moving, keep it grooving. New England Patriots at the Houston Texans. Next game up, partner. The New England Patriots opened up as 9.5-point favorites. Bill Belichick is absolutely terrific against rookie quarterbacks, and they are now down to 8.5-point favorites. What's going on? Are we back in New England on the road in Houston, or does Davis Mills finally get the job done for the first time in a Texans uniform?
The fact that this line is doing what it does has me more concerned with the Patriots. I'm not taking the Houston Texans. I really want to take the New England Patriots in this spot, coming in 1-3, a little bit of desperation against not only a rookie quarterback, but a terrible rookie quarterback that has looked absolutely miserable. I want to back the Patriots.
Awful, terrible rookie quarterback that has looked miserable.
Yeah, he is.
He's been bad.
I don't think that's an understatement because he has been absolutely brutal, and I want to back the Patriots. I mean, at the end of the day, though, their offense hasn't been convincing enough. Then you look back to that Carolina and Houston game. I mean, I guess that's what you would hope this game would be if you're backing the Patriots. Maybe the Patriots have a little more offensive success. I'm a little interested to see what this line does throughout the week because I really am interested in the Patriots. There's no chance I'm taking the Texans in this spot.
Yeah, I don't know if I can back them, but it is very interesting that this opened at 6 and then moved to 9, and then now it's down to 8.5. I'm very, very interested
it's confusing,
as to what's
man.
all going on.
Because I guess it would be the Patriots offense having some struggles that would probably keep the Texans in this game. Weird Week 5 trend. Patriots 14-2, ATS last 16 Week 5 games.
Sorry, I just got announcements here. I did hear that, though. But Urban Meyer himself says he has not considered resigning at all over all of the nonsense that has happened.
For sure.
No problems, no harm, no foul. Back to it. I love the Patriots, man. I love them against rookie quarterbacks, but I love Bill Belichick against rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But I have no idea which way I'm going to side, where I'm going to go. I have no idea, my friend. What are you going to hammer in the Patriots?
I need to see some more movement because this movement has me concerned. If this was the Jaguars or the Jets or maybe even the Lions, I might even be interested in taking the points. Mm-hmm. But with Davis Mills in this Texans offense, the way they are looking, I certainly am not backing the Texans, and I'll probably maybe a teaser. Maybe the teaser for the Patriots.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know for sure if I'm completely 100% sold on him by any means, but just with how good Bill Belichick is against rookie quarterbacks. I'm just looking at some of the money. I mean, it's not good. 63% up bet, 62% actual money wagered on the Pats already. You see the reverse line movement. I'm just trying to compile thoughts over here because I don't like it, and I really liked the Patriots before that, and now I really don't anymore, and I don't know what that means.
They've done this before, though. I think it was the Jets, I believe, and it was a similar line like this, and we're like, that's a lot of points. The line's doing exactly what it's doing. We love them against rookie quarterbacks, and then we stayed away, and they beat them by 15 to 20 points, so my gut tells me that's what's going to happen again here, so I probably will back him in some capacity, but who knows?
I don't know. Let's keep it moving. It might not be on the best bets list. Next game up, don't know that I'm really interested in this at all. Yeah. Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings. Don't really see any value at the 49 on the total, or the Vikings going up to 8.5-point favorites off of 7.5 points at open. Any value, any worth stopping here, pit stop, and talking about?
I don't think so.
I'm really pissed off at the Vikings too, by the way.
Yeah, I think we're pissed off at the Vikings. I'm not going to trust Kirk Cousins on a spread like this, or even really in a teaser. I do think the Vikings will and should win, but like we said, I mean, the Lions, they have shot themselves in the foot, but they also get frisky for a couple quarters, and it would not shock me. It would not shock me whatsoever for the Lions to find some way to not only cover, but find some weird way to win this game. I'm not betting on that by any means, but I could see this game going. You play this game 10 times, I could see it ending 10 different ways, honestly.
Yeah, and I don't trust any way that I can cook up in my mind.
Don't trust Kirk. Don't trust Jared. No, thank you.
I'm going to be staying far away.
No Jared Goff weather, though. It is in a dome, so I do like that a little better, but hey, no thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to be staying far away. Next game up on tap, New Orleans Saints at the Washington football team.
I didn't bring any shovel today, partner.
I got a shovel in the back
Oh,
pocket.
no.
I brought one just in case. Now, let me just say that the New Orleans Saints look like a shell of themselves right now. They lost their first home game back in New Orleans after everything. The fans were hype. Who Dat Nation was rocking the Caesars Sportsbook Dome. And they fucking took the Giants to overtime and lost. This Washington football team played that Giants team very, very tight, very close, got a 1-point victory. I see it being very, very damn similar to how that matchup played out last week for the Saints. I think it's the exact same thing. I don't think Washington has a problem getting Antonio Gibson working. I don't think they have a problem getting J.D. McKissick working in the passing game. I think Scary Terry has more than enough ability to light up a few of these cornerbacks. I really like the Washington football team. Heineke is now sponsored by Bud Light. He's got to perform. He's got to look good. He got a nice huge care package after he performed in this past game where they walked it off against the Falcons, 34-30. I think it's going to be nuts. I think it's going to be wild. I think you might have to hang on to your seat and wait for takeoff, but I think I might hammer in the old Washington football team and take them out of the grave.
You got the shovel, I guess. I am not going to be with there. I'm not backing the Saints.
Undertaker hand. Man. I could see it.
You're grabbing it, and I'm staying away from this game. I don't hate what you just said because I like the Washington football offense. I don't know what to expect from the Saints. I don't hate the Giants. I don't think they're as bad as their record says. So I'm staying away from this one. I will root it on for you from my grave watching spot over here, though.
Yeah, it's one of my faves, man. I don't think I can go away from it. 27% of bets with 61% of actual money wagered on their +2 right now. Saints getting 73% of the bets with only 39% of money, and 80% of bets. 80% of bets on the money line with only 50% of actual money wagered. So very interesting there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to dig them out of the grave. I might even end up doing a little money line sprinkle, but I'm a little worried about it. If I die on the hill this weekend, then I'm leaving the carcass of what used to be my betting body on that hill, and I will come back and I will not bet the football team anymore this year. I will not do it. I promise. If I die on that hill this weekend, I don't know. We'll see if it's a best bet, but I think I got to hammer it in. Oh, boy. Next game up on tap, my friends. Oh, we're not all the way there. Hold on. Next game up on tap, the Cleveland Brownies and the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, partner, call me crazy.
Okay.
Tell me I'm way out in left field.
Okay.
But I absolutely love the Chargers.
Okay.
And the Browns are getting 48% of bets with 70% actual money wagered on them already. Am I out in left field thinking that the Chargers continue this momentum at home, or really are the Brownies about to go in there and whoop their ass? I mean, this game's a pick'em. What's going on?
I'm you're not crazy. First of all, you're not crazy. I am a little more concerned than I was. I might be staying away just because it could be just a toss up. Because I think these teams match up to where it's going to be a really, really tight game, and I don't know who comes out on top. There's some sharp money coming on the Browns. The public is on, at least public bet slips is on the Chargers while the money's on the Browns. I love the Chargers as much as you do. I just I'm a little concerned about it. I am interested in the under a little bit in this game. That also seems to be a public play as well. So I want some action in this game, but just nothing's jumping out to me quite yet.
I think it comes down just about the same as the Browns and the Vikings did last week, and I think that the Chargers kind of take the place of the Vikings, but flip the script.
They have better, they're better.
Do what the Vikings should have done, and I think that how good this Chargers defense is, I think it turns into a defensive battle and a half, and you're going to give it to me, say, the guy who has maybe more clutch in his jeans. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll call it that. I give it to Herbert.
Yeah.
I know Baker's the man. He's
I
the
like
dog
Baker,
himself,
but I agree. I would take Justin Herbert to start a team. I would take him right now, too.
I'd take Herbert. I would take Herbert, and I think the combination of that, how that offense is chugging, they are utilizing Austin Eckler, how he needs to be utilized now. I'm all in on the Chargers, and I just don't know. I got to look into some more stuff, but I don't think I can back the Browns and Stefanski on the road opening up as a dog. I just don't think I can.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't back the Browns. This one might be more of a stay away for me, just because I think it's a toss-up.
It might be too, but I feel like I got to put some action.
I'm excited to watch it, though.
Yeah, I'm leaning anywhere it's going to be the Chargers. Next game up on tap. I will not be taking any action out of this game. I'm actually talking about it with one of our guys, just another year, Chicago. Our guy Nick Roti. Going to be talking with him at 1 o'clock today for his upcoming show. Talking about the Bears, everything in between. So I'll save all my analysis, everything for that. Partner, what are you feeling about the Las Vegas Raiders against the Chicago Bears going up against each other? Raiders laying 5.5, opening it up in the Death Star.
I am also staying away from this one. My gut would tell me the Bears with those points at that Death Star, as you mentioned there, but I don't know what to expect here. Bears ATS last 12, 3-9 ATS last 12 following an ATS win, but the Raiders 20-41-1 ATS last 62 as a favorite. This just isn't a spot where the Raiders and Gruden have been profitable the last few years.
No.
So that leads me into the Bears. I just don't
back them again.
That's the thing, man, because I just, as much as I could see them covering this game and potentially even winning it, there's also the side of me that sees me backing the Bears, and then they lay another dud, and I'm just watching this shit show, and I can't even hate watch it. So there's too many things baked into this for me that it's a different type of bias, and I gotta keep myself out of it.
I think I'd have to agree with you. Entirely different type of bias for me, to use your term. So I'm not going to be making a play on it at all. I'm going to have some pretty serious opinions. I got kind of an idea how this game plays out, but again, I'm going to save it all for just another year Chicago. Free plug on him as well. That way you guys can check all of that out, get my insights analysis there too. All that being said, next game up on tap, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. Now, partner, I'm a little concerned about the Arizona Cardinals opening up as 5.5-point favorites. I think that is way too good to be true. An overreaction line from them absolutely destroying the Rams. I think this game is going to come down to a field goal. I think a lot of people are having their opinions that Trey Lance is going to suck. And, a lot of people are saying he didn't look very good, this, that, and the third. I went back and looked at his stat line. He was pretty damn decent. He wasn't terrible for coming in and replacing Jimmy Garoppolo in a scheme that was not set up for what he does as a quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see it. I like the 49ers early at plus 5.5.
Yeah, and then I like what you said yesterday on the show because I was kind of saying that, but then you said, okay, well, that wasn't really he wasn't getting the first team reps that week. It's a different offense, and I agree with you. And I think with that extra week of prep, I think that lends into them because they are still a damn good football team. They've just had a couple of tough spots the last couple of weeks. I see this Arizona Cardinals team coming in kind of like the Rams did last week against the Cardinals, coming off of a massive win. Now everyone's talking about the Cardinals as one of the, if not the best team in football right now, and I think it's a letdown spot. The Cardinals at home under Kingsbury have not been very good. At least ATS 7-20, ATS last 27 as a home favorite, and the Niners 8-3, ATS last 11 as a road dog. I am very interested in the Niners. Was hoping just for a couple last things to confirm it, because I think they match up decently well here. I think the defense can slow them down and keep this a tight game. Not saying the Niners definitely get the outright win necessarily, but I think it's going to be a close one.
I think it's going to be a close one, too, and I think it finishes way closer to a field goal than it does 5.5.
Yeah.
And 5.5 just seems like an overreaction to me. I think this 49ers might be one of my best bets of the weekend as well, coming in there. I have them written down over here on my early look sheet, so
can't really afford to go 2-3 either.
No, they really cannot, and they need this win in the division. So quite possibly they might get the win, outright win too. We might have to do a little sprinkle on the money line. I don't know. You'll have to stick around just to see, but I do believe that one's going to make it all the way to my best bets card. Next game up on tap, NFC East matchup. I am still not convinced, my friend. New York Giants playing the Dallas Cowboys, going to the Star. I don't know if I'm just tossing out unneeded hate or what is going on here, but I still am not buying the Dallas Cowboys, and I think before too long the dumpster fire is going to ignite. Really concerning to me, why in the hell did they just release Jalen Smith out of nowhere? They owe him a shit ton of money and just said, see you later. And he's been producing, though. It's not like and they need
Seemed
him.
like a lot of Cowboys fans didn't really have many issues with it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. That seems very bizarre. It seems very puzzling. What I think is going to happen is there's going to be some rumblings. There's going to be some stuff going on. And it's Mike McCarthy. It's the Dallas Cowboys. There's always something that happens. There was nonsense last year. We haven't heard about no smashing watermelons. We haven't heard about no nothing. Something's coming. I can't get it out of my head. Dallas Cowboys fans are running to the window trying to smash in Super Bowl tickets, and I'm just not buying it. I am not buying it across the board. I don't think I'll believe it until I see the Dallas Cowboys in at least a conference championship game, a division championship game. I don't buy it. I think they're gonna bite, and I think the Giants might be the one to bite them hard this weekend.
I am well. So you are sticking that type of tune as far as the season, a little heavier than I am. Not that I'm disagreeing with you, because we have seen this tune I don't know how many times throughout our lifetimes where the Dallas Cowboys do this, and they're a good football team. I'm not going to say that. I just don't. I'm with you with that. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. They'll probably, and Dallas fans are going to hate me for this, but I've seen this tune before. This ends with them losing to my Packers in the divisional round. It's happened a few times throughout our lifetime, and it's typically my Packers that are the end of the road for them. But in this spot specifically, I actually did hammer in the New York Giants plus the 7 already, partner.
Really?
This New York Giants team is actually, with Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes is a live dog on the road, my friend, in MetLife Stadium in New York. A little shaky, but in the road, he has been actually pretty damn solid. I mentioned earlier in the show, I'm kind of singing the opposite tune with the Giants in a different sense, as far as the Giants are nowhere near as bad as their record says. I'm not saying they're the best team in the division by any means. I think the Dallas Cowboys probably get this outright win, but I do think it is a close game.
Yeah.
Giants 22-6 ATS last 22-6 last 28 ATS as a road dog. 5-2 ATS last 7 versus team with a winning record. Cowboys 4-10 ATS last 14 as a favorite. The Cowboys are 4-0 ATS. That's not something that continues with a massive fan base and massive, people pour money on the Cowboys no matter what. We saw it kind of in a different sense with the Yankees last night. These trends die when teams like this are 4-0 ATS. Like I said, I think the Cowboys are a good football team. I think they probably get this win. I absolutely think the Giants covered. The line is similar to me. I mean, the money liability is nowhere near what the Pats Bucks was, but it would be one thing if this line was jumping up 7.5, 8 with all the money on the Cowboys, but it's staying right there. I think it's going to be not the same game script as that Bucks Pats game, but I think it's going to be really similar as far as it ending in a one-score game, maybe even a field goal game here.
I had my eye on it, and now I've started. I think it's.
And I think you were probably tentative because you've been at least ATS getting a little whacked on the Cowboys.
I've been getting fucked by the Cowboys, and I've been having this damn opinion. And now that you're on it, it's like, well, fuck. Am I back on the train now, or am I fucking insane? I don't know, man.
Like I said, Danny Dimes on the road is legit, man.
Well, shit, yeah. He looked like a fucking boss last week in New Orleans. I mean,
they're starting to use Saquon the correct way. I don't hate their defense. It was Danny Dimes.
It wasn't ostrich-legged Danny.
And they're
tripping over himself on the 16.
Right. And they should be 2-2. Very easily could be 3-1. They played the Denver Broncos decently well week 1. So I'm on it, man. It's already locked in my bet slip. I've got +7.
Well, it's start on my list. I might end up locking it in today. I like it. I'm a fan of it. I can't believe you actually said that because it has lost the hook with getting all the money. I thought you might actually be going to the Dallas side. So holy cow.
No.
I might be back on fading the Cowboys. I think at some point in time it just happens, my friend. But all that being said, next game up on tap. The Sunday Night Football game, far way away, and I know you have already hammered in a play on this game. I'm a little concerned about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it more in depth on Friday. We've had some talks about it outside of the show. Why don't you indulge everybody what you're feeling here, where you're going?
So I'm interested in the Buffalo Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs here. I love both of these teams' offenses, but I've been saying it before. This Kansas City defense, I don't think it's just flawed, partner. I think it's actually a bad defense. I think it's going to be exposed. The Eagles, I don't think the Eagles are even close to a good offense. They were able to put up 30 points. I think the Bills could put up another. I'm not saying the Bills wax the Chiefs. I'm not saying that. I think it'll be a good game because the Chiefs offense, Patrick Mahomes, they are still the Chiefs offense. I'm not going to deny that, but they almost have to play, and they can do it obviously, but they almost have to play perfect, pristine offense against teams like this in the Buffalo Bills. It's really starting to shake out this Chiefs, the way this Chiefs defense looks. It reminds me a lot of a decade ago with the start of Aaron Rodgers' tenure, winning the Super Bowl. Then they go 15-1 with an amazing offense, but their defense is what held them back. And then after that, next year after the Super Bowl, which would start with this year with the Chiefs, their defense starts to really, really be bad, and starts to be a large reason why they start losing games and find themselves at 11-6 as opposed to 14-3. And I think this is one of those games where the Bills take care of business with their offense.
What was their season win total at?
Over under?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I know Action X still had the baseline one, so I can probably look that up real quick.
I think it was like 13. Yeah, look it up because I'm pretty sure they pretty much have to run the table.
It was 11.5.
11. So pretty much have to run the table.
Not 2-2, right?
Not entirely. They're 2-2 right now, but against these good teams, they're gonna have to win. And with it under a field goal, man, I really think that I'm gonna side to the Chiefs. Again, it's the Sunday night game. It's so far away. You having all that confidence in the Buffalo Bills all the way before Sunday night, and they were getting huge money, huge bet percentages. Now it's completely reverted back to kind of what I thought it would do. The Chiefs, 39% of bets, 54% actual money. I don't know that I'm jumping all over it. I think I'm going to wait till the afternoon of that, just like I did with the Patriots and the Buccaneers to see.
I mean, we've been doing that every Sunday night, and it's worked out so far.
Yeah,
I just love the Bills in this spot so much.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, 26% of bets with 70% actual money wagered already. It really makes me nervous. I know that's not music to your ears by any means.
No,
maybe
it's
you
fair.
guys were fans
it's more
of
than
the Bills. Fair. And I just think with how the Bills have been playing and how the Chiefs have been playing, your average bear having access to this, saying, "Oh my gosh, how are the fucking Chiefs suck now? They have a terrible defense. How can you not back them as an underdog?" And I
haven't really been hearing that though.
Kind of afraid of.
I haven't been hearing that from anybody though.
Well, I don't know that you've been like looking down,
maybe,
and I don't know that anybody's beaten
maybe.
that. And I think that's because it's the Sunday fucking night game, and nobody's even looking at this game yet. And
I don't know.
And I don't. That's what shocked me the most. Is I don't know why you were finding so much value on the 7:20 game after we've been leaving it kind of be. So
I'm
interested to see what what happens there. Partner's already locked in the money line. They have lost the hook in the wrong direction. The Buffalo Bills, it is now at 3, not 2.5 anymore. So something to think about. I don't know. Probably won't be on my best bet slip, but I might end up taking the Chiefs on Sunday night. We'll see what happens. Last game up on tap. It is not anymore Sunday. It is now Monday. Now, obviously, we won't talk about it too much in depth. We have an entire show dedicated to it. Next Monday, that'll be episode number 143, I do believe. Yeah, off the top of the dome, that is what it is. Last game, Monday night, Baltimore Colts.
Hell.
Gotcha. Indianapolis Colts versus the Baltimore Ravens. Colts getting 7.5 going into B-More M&T, the Bank Stadium. What are we feeling, partner? Are we, oh boy, I'll say, and I kind of want to get your thoughts. I'll say it early. I'm on the Colts plus the points, getting the touchdown.
I haven't locked it in yet, but that's where I'm leaning towards. I do believe this Colts. I'm not saying they're back. I'm not saying they're going to be in that same conversation as even the Ravens. I do think the Ravens will win this game, but I do think it'll be close. I think it'll be one of those games where the Ravens' offense just isn't clicking quite as much as they would like to. This Colts defense is still solid. I don't know. I'm hoping this last week's game isn't too much of a throwing people off the scent of the Colts, because I guess there's a world in which the Dolphins' offense is just really, really bad.
No,
but
they are really, really bad.
But I do think, and I said it at the beginning of the season.
It's the world we live in right now.
But
There's
I said
not
it
a world.
right. But the word I said it before the season started in these season previews. I think the Colts, the more and more they get on the season, I think they'll struggle right out of the gates. But each week, I think they'll continue to improve and continue to improve. So with these 7 points, I think I got to go with what I originally said, because we're already starting to see it. And I mean, some of their losses, 3 losses, it was what? Seahawks, Rams, and someone else that I'm blanking on. I'm not sure, but I think it was a solid team.
I don't know why I'm blanking as well.
But they at least had 2 solid teams that they've played and lost to. So I think I'm going to be back in the points with them here, plus 7. And I'm going to be pretty damn comfortable with that.
They lost to the Titans.
The Titans. Oh, that's
the Titans,
right.
but they covered, because that's when I had them to cover.
Yeah.
That was in Tennessee. Yeah, man, I like the 7. I might even like the money line too at 1-3. I don't believe that the Ravens deserve to be favored by a touchdown over anybody right now. I think they got such a big win last week because Teddy Two Gloves got hurt early. The Broncos looked great early, but then they couldn't get their defense off the field, man. And I really think, don't quote me to it, wait to tune into Monday's show, but I think this is where the injury luck runs out for the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. Last thing for me, what I guess gives me the most confidence is that Indy's offense started to look solid against the Dolphins, in which against a defense that I still believe is a solid defense. So I think that's really what's pushing me over the edge here, because I don't think I'll be hammering the money line. I guess we'll see what happens, but yeah, I think I'll be taking the points.
For sure. We'll talk about it more on Monday's show, but for now, my friends, everybody tuning in, that does it for the entire Week 5 season preview. Hey. Through it once again. All right, another preview is complete. Before we wrap up the show, a little bit of banter, a little bit of nonsense, a little bit of everything in between. First things first. Partner, anything burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul, you have been dying to get out to the kind folks that joined us on episode number 140 of the Talking the Line podcast on this absolutely gorgeous October 6th, 2021.
So I've got nothing big, partner. I was mostly just trying to use this time to talk about tonight's wild card game. We did it a little bit, but I guess if there's anything else we can add to what we were already talking about. Big game, my friends. Big game. I mean, the Cardinals, of course, the Cardinals are not as good as the Dodgers are, but if
it's the postseason, Bob.
It is the postseason, and that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm kind of leading into. It's the St. Louis Cardinals. I can't tell you how many times the Cardinals have been in a spot like this over the last 20 years throughout our lifetimes, 6 years throughout our lifetimes, and they've handled, not only covered a plus 1.5 like this, but handled business. Yeah. And you mentioned it. I did not, that slipped past my radar, because in my head I was like, oh, Mad Max has been absolutely dominant down the stretch, starting to get Cy Young looks. And the wheels did fall off a little bit, similar to how they did with Garrett Cole.
Always backtrack and walk that ticket off.
We'll see if I can. It was a 2-leg SGP, but I mean, I'm still feeling decent about it. I do
you got
feel
to. You locked it in.
I guess let's see if I can back
but
out.
I love the Cardinals in this, man. I've seen it time and time again.
You're not wrong.
Against my Cubbies. Against better teams than the Dodgers, I do believe. And I think the entire you can.
I can, but I lose money.
Yeah, the entire public is on Mad Max. I mean, that's why. But you also have to look at they're a little bit down in their roster. Their starting lineups, what their batting lineups going to be, it's going to be a little shaky. And
that's still pretty damn good.
It's damn good, but boys, the Cardinals lineup is stacked.
Yeah, it's also solid.
Stacked with guys that come in clutch. Nolan Arenado, clutch machine.
Yep.
Tyler O'Neill making a young clutch name for himself as well. Yachty, you cannot doubt postseason Yachty.
No.
You know he's going to have something at some point in time.
Should I get out?
Daniel Carlson's been fucking ripping the cover off the ball, and I think he continues.
I'm getting out.
All right.
I'm getting out.
Hey, if I fucked y'all up, I apologize. But Paul Goldschmidt's been fucking killing it. He's clutching the postseason. I'm just
naming dudes, and it's like, fuck, you're right. You're right about this dude.
So I put a unit on the Cardinals plus 1.5. I got it at minus 110, and I bought in early on the money line plus 200. If it gets any lower than plus 190, I'm a little concerned about it. I wouldn't say buy in on it, but honestly, that just seemed way too cheap for me. It's soaring down through 190. Good grief, it's already down to 187 on some books. At plus 210 still on some other books, so it just depends. You got to find that good value right now, but boys and girls, I think the good value is on the Birds. As much as I hate to say it as a Cubby fan.
I mean, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to backing Adam Wainwright in a spot like this.
Shit, no. And what I really am interested in, if you got any thoughts,
keep going if you're rolling.
I want to look at his road splits right quick, because I do believe this was a spot throughout the course of the entire season where he was pretty daggone good. Not
bad.
As good as home.
Yeah.
By
Still
any
solid,
stretch, but 3.58, not terrible. 66 Ks to only 27 walks. I mean, he's going to limit any production, and he finished the season pretty damn good, dude. I mean, he had 2 flub up games, a 5 earned run and a 4 earned run in October. Or September, I'm sorry. And outside of that, he pitched spectacular in September, pitched spectacular in August. I mean, he looks like postseason Wainwright. And if I'm going to back anybody, I'm going to back the freaking consistency and the connection between Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright, who broke a few records this season with each other. Outside of, if I'm backing Mad Max, who looks like he's on a little bit of a skid right now, and who's even catching for the Dodgers at this point in time. That's how doggone tapped out of baseball I've been here in a little while. But I
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith. That's right. I wanted to make sure before I said his name. But yeah, I like the Dirty Birds, man. I like the Dirty Birds.
Hey, man, at least with baseball, I think we got to ride together on these games for the most part here. And I backed out of the Dodgers because I don't know, man.
Let's throw together another SGP.
I'm down with it.
Because our noggins together on that yesterday, like
just the
nerfy. But I could see a fucking nerfy again today too. I kind of like it. I don't know. We'll see, but we might. Well, then not probably might. We'll throw out a same game parlay. We'll see what's up. Probably put it out on Twitter or something like that. Because I need some juice on this game.
100%. 100%.
But I'm already getting a shitload of juice with the cards at dog money and plus 1.5 right around minus 110. How profitable has that been all season long?
Plus 1.5. Oh yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Something to think about. I don't know. All I'm saying is that I'm taking the Birds plus 1.5 and a half unit on their money line. Anything else you got on that game, partner?
I don't think so. I'm ready to. I hope it's a good game because I mean the atmosphere last night was electric, but obviously there was a couple moments in that game. But all in all, it wasn't the drama that we were kind of hoping for.
No.
Sports fans.
I wish we could have gone 3-0 across the board because you had your F5 play, I had my F5 play. We had both the Sox on the money line, and then that doggone. Did you get it at 8.5?
I got it at 8.
I got it at 8. So it pushed out. It's a bummer and a half because then it ended up ticking up to 8.5 by game time. And
I think it was was 8.5 before. I locked it in as well.
Same, but hey, either way, not a bad night. Should be another solid night here. We'll build a little same game parlay for you guys. Outside of that, we'll get you on about your way here in under 15 minutes. A couple of quick key reminders before we do. Wise Words, episode number 5 drops at noon in 44 short minutes. We had an absolute blast talking with today's guest, a completely different angle. We talked everything golf and betting golf. Absolutely electric show, loads of analysis, loads of insight, stuff we've already kind of talked about with you guys, but speaking with a definite expert on the PGA side of things, kind of solidified some of the things we knew and then even helped broaden our horizons and what we hope to be able to bring you guys on the daily show. So we cannot wait for you guys to be able to watch this. We had an absolute blast, and once again, this guest, much like our last one, the Sportsbook Consigliere, we do believe that this one's going to open up some solid doors for us as well. So we cannot thank our guest enough. We won't give him away yet. We'll wait for you guys to see the show drop. But if you do follow us on Twitter, you saw him shout us out last week. So a little something to think about. But Wise Words episode 5 dropping at noon. Now 43 short minutes away. Couple of other key reminders. We got some new seasons coming up. We are going to be going back to business as usual on the daily show. We'll have Monday through Friday, all best bets, everything in between. Yeah, Black Betty to Chamberlain. That's a good one. We actually got some inside information. We talked with him on Monday.
Yep.
We recorded the show on Monday, and he told us about the Brooks and the Bryson thing before it got announced yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was hyped as fuck when I saw that. I was like, I can't really hype it up and say that we heard it, but you guys will know, hey, we recorded that on Monday, and he was talking about that. He had the inside scoop. So, we're definitely talking to the right guy. It was an absolute blast. But back to business as usual, as I was saying. We'll probably take away the NFL recaps and the look ahead. We'll get back to cashing NBA tickets, college basketball tickets, NHL tickets, everything in between. The old ice hockey up there in the Great White North and all across the land as well. 6 days until that bad boy happens, including today. Don't you know? NBA 13 days away, including today. Bulls looked
unreal yesterday.
So good. But
was the Cavs preseason, but hey.
Direct your attention to the fact that they looked unreal in the preseason last year.
Against the Cavs.
We were talking real hot. Like, damn, Kobe White's about to have comeback player of the year. Or this shit's we were about to go to the playoffs.
Like chucking lobs last night. I'm feeling
they were doing that last preseason. I love you and your Bulls.
I don't remember.
I'm just tempering the expectations because much like we talked about the Cardinals a minute ago, it'll still our Chicago Bulls, but we do have some damn good talent on that fucking team now.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about how they looked as well.
I'll probably have an NBA futures blog. I don't know, either next week or maybe the start of opening week. Maybe that'll be a better one.
We'll have about 72 plays on only 30 NBA teams. So there you go, ready to rock and roll on his NBA futures. One final one coming up, our favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
College basketball, 34 short days away. Shout out John Rothstein. Cannot wait for everything to start spreading again, because as soon as that happens, my friends, I'm going to have to invest in about 7,000 pounds of this stuff. I'm going to have to get some of that stuff you roll under the eyes to prevent the old bags.
Burst Bees or no?
No. They got some stuff out there you can roll under the eyes and it takes away the puffiness, whatever it is. Either way, we sleep in May. That's what I know, and it is going to be absolutely electric. Monday through Friday, we're capping NFL. We're capping college football. We're capping college basketball, NBA, and NHL. We got 4 of our specialties now, both amateur and pro. Basketball and amateur and pro football. So let's go. I have been doing a little bit of side work on the NHL.
Okay.
How hyped up I was yesterday to say, hey, the Hawks have won. I mean, hey, nobody's really been paying attention too much. I've been paying attention a little bit. I've been checking some things out. I don't want to say I'm overboard, but I do believe that I can get back to the trends that we were doing early on last year. So hopefully we'll be cashing some NHL tickets courtesy of your boy in no time flat. 6 days, short away, 7 days, the Blackhawks take the ice 41st time in the UC. You will see the All Black 2018 Stadium Series busted out for that show.
Love it.
Outside of that, nothing major. You said your NBA future blog. I'll probably dish out some college basketball blog somewhere in between there as well. Be on the lookout. End of the week, my UFC blog, picks, props, punts, and parlays. We got Mackenzie Dern. Goodness gracious.
Rodriguez?
Mariano Rodriguez. That is correct. Thank you, sir. We'll have that coming out, and then Mags probably Sunday morning. It's a noon game, ain't it?
It is a noon game, so I'll
maybe Sunday morning. Not a big deal. If
it is Sunday morning, it'll be ready to rock bright and early Sunday morning.
Bright and early Sunday morning. Extra cheddar from Mags, the weekly Packers props that you need to hammer in. He'll be having that. So if you haven't already, subscribe to our blogs. Don't know why I got to say this every fucking time, but we will not send you spam. We don't like it. We don't want it. Why would we give it to you? That makes no sense at all. So anywhere on the TTO website where you see subscribe to the crew's blogs, just toss in your email, click submit, and anytime we drop a new blog, it's right in your email inbox. You don't have to search. You don't have to go anywhere. Outside of that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Make sure you drop us a like. We appreciate it. Can't tell you how much it means to us when you do. All that being said, if you're looking for more content, you're looking for our socials, you're looking for everything in between, easy place to find it. Just go to talkingtheline.com, or you can visit the link tree in this episode's description. Find that website, all of our social platforms, and our additional content, so you can consume it all however and whenever. Okay, my friends, it has now come that time. We've reminded you everything you need. Please be a friend, tell a friend. That way we can all run some motherfucking tickets to the window together. But that all being said, we have one final thing to do. One final thing that I must complete, that I promised you, and you, and you, and you, and me, that I would do at the end of every single show, no matter what was happening that day. So without further ado, it is time for my motivation minutes. All right, my friends. Now, I never claimed to be a Schwarmy. I never claimed to be a genius. I never claimed to be a shaman. None of those things in between. Never claimed to be any of that. And didn't have to say anything, but a little rocky start to the morning, yo. And I'm a human being. I battle things all the time. I fight things all the time, and it's crazy because some of the stuff was kind of playing into my messages to you guys this week. So maybe oddly, I need to hear my own messages and start living by my own words and what I tell you guys to apply in your own lives. So I guess just being honest. That's hey, authenticity. It's the real me. I am still a human being. So if you fuck up sometimes, you slip up. Shit isn't as kosher as it should be. You don't bring the energy, the vibes that you should. It's okay. We're all human beings. And I do this, and I still mess up too. So that's how I want to preface that. Hey, let me be authentic with you guys. Hopefully that kind of rubs off through the screen there. But continuing to build with authenticity today, I know that's kind of been the theme of this week. We've talked about it from a couple of different angles, but this week I've shared this with you guys before, and it was a while back ago. We might not have even been live on YouTube at this point in time. But if you do go to our favorite bar in Normal, Illinois, called Brewhaus. I actually should have wore the shirt for them today. You can get a burger basket, double burger basket, fries, and a couple of 32-ounce Rolling Rocks for under $10.
Needed it in my life soon. Cut you off real quick. I needed it in my life soon.
Either way, there's some more good vibes. But why do I bring that up? Because the quote I'm about to tell you today is special to my heart, is special to me being authentic, and it is a piece of me that will forever stay at that bar because I completed a challenge, and with that challenge, you get to put up your own saying, your own quote, whatever. Most people do funny things. Most people do this, that, and the other, but I wanted people to stop when they scrolled down and they saw what I had said, that they, holy shit, and that they might have just been buzzed up enough to start going down that rabbit hole. And maybe I would be doing something like this at that point in time, and they would look up my name, and just maybe they might tune into a Motivation Minutes. And that quote, and it'd be wild as all shit if this came full circle for somebody, and I don't know, maybe you need to hear this today. Maybe kind of wild if that's actually happening. But even a dead fish can go with the flow. And I'll say it again for y'all in the back. Even a dead fish can go with the flow. Are you living your life just like a gray, lifeless mess? You just going through life, no purpose, no drive, no meaning, no nothing? You just see for any opportunity you can jump in with the crowd, get in the stream, and, oh, okay, whew. Everything's calm, I can ride the current, it's all good, whatever, and then, oh, somebody pushed me out. Holy shit, I'm going the wrong way. Oh my gosh, everything's collapsing. Is that how you live your life? Is that how you're set up? That's the first part of that, to being authentic. But the second part is that anybody can do what everybody else is doing. Anybody can play into all the social media trends. Anybody can play into all the toxicity that you can find on there every day and give their own opinions on that exact same toxicity and continue to spread it and just go with the flow, because that's what everybody else does. That's what's the cool thing to do. Me, I ain't a normal fish, and I choose not to go with the flow. I choose to jump out of that current instead of being worried about what all might hit me in my face being out of that current. I live for those moments. I live to try and swim upstream, try and have my back pushed up against the wall, and have the opportunity to come out swinging. And it's funny that in those moments are the times that you really start to achieve the most. You start to find the most success. Those times that they talk about the thing, what you're chasing after is right around the corner. In those moments where you are fighting all you have to go up the stream, you're backed into the corner. All you can do is just fight and keep working to try and get to that goal. You want to give up because you see everybody just going with the flow by you. Everything's nice and easy. Their life's so kosher. What'd I tell you yesterday? Maybe they're a public success and a private failure. Maybe they're not authentic at all. And maybe if you choose to get the fuck out of the current and be authentic for just a few moments, that you'll find that it really isn't that hard to swim upstream. It really isn't that hard to walk to the beat of your own drum, if you will. And when you make the choice to do that, everything else seems to fall in line. And I've said this before to you guys, but get the inside right, and the outside will follow along. So I want you to remember, just be authentic today. Be who you are. I don't know why authenticity has been the message of the week, but be who you are and realize that even a dead fish can go with the flow. He can just fall right in the current and just sit there dead as all can be, going with everybody else. Is that how you want to live your life? Dead, lifeless, formless. You get out of the current and oh my gosh, everything hits you in the face all at once. And oh, that's too scary. Get me back in the current. I don't like that. Everybody help me. I don't like that at all. Or do you want to take a risk? You want to make a change in your life? You want to go places that you've dreamed about, but you ain't ever seen them like this and you ain't ever thought it was possible. Make that choice to get out of the current today. And remember, be authentic, and even a dead fish can go with the flow. And that does it for my Motivation Minutes of the day.
Good stuff, my man. Good stuff as always. I love the get the inside right, and the outside will follow. That's what one of my favorite parts of that for sure. But we are about an hour and a half, so I won't gab on too much here on this side.
Hey, no problem at all. I appreciate it. I do that for each and every one of you guys. Those things have helped me in these times. And, you know, a lot of that stuff this morning that I was dealing with was kind of playing into that. Even a dead fish can go with the flow. And let's continue to be different. Let's continue to be our authentic selves and chase after the lives that we have imagined. So there you go. Officially, my friends, there it is. there you have it. Let's wrap today's show up the only way we know how, with just a little bit more good vibes, a little bit more nonsense, and the official cherry, if you will, on top of the proverbial podcast sundae. The wonderful camera just blanked out a little bit. No problem, no harm, no foul. We are live in prime time. So, in order to send you off, here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers, far and wide, from myself and Mags. Thank you so much for choosing to stop by the TTL pod today. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate you hanging out with a couple of goofballs, just talking some nonsense, talking some insights, analysis, and helping you cash those tickets one play at a time. Hey, from the bottom of our hearts, I know I can speak for this guy. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys. We see you out there, your support, your following, everything in between. You mean the world to us from the bottom of our hearts, and we're only going to keep grinding, busting, going, making more content, getting bigger and better, and making this TTL Sports Media rocket ship go to the moon. For now, my friends, I send you off, as always. We hope you have a spectacular rest of your Wednesday, unless you have any other plans. And partner, oh, let's give it to them. Let's cash some tickets.